It was a dark and stormy night. Not a good one for trick-or-treating. Suddenly, there was a full moon in the sky, illuminating what seemed to be a trash can. That trash can, although, had a name. Typical colors too. It had its spotlight. Suddenly, it had more trash dumped into it. Okay, I'm gonna cut the metaphors. Typical Colors 2 had an update on Halloween of last year. Besides rewriting the entire game's code, adding more rare bosses, there was Bloxxer Noobs, a dual boss that had a 1 in 3 chance of being able to be picked as the bosses on any brick battle map. And honestly, they're still pretty much just as bad as the update they arrived in. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about the criticisms of them and possibly how to fix those criticisms. One of the first criticisms of the Bloxxer Noobs was their inability to super jump, and honestly, I don't blame the community for this criticism. Other bosses get a way better mobility tool with the cost of no health, but Bloxxer Noobs get a poor mobility tool with some health taken. Another criticism I heard was their sword damage. Honestly, again, I can't blame the community. 95 damage is a minuscule number compared to the 100 damage difference of the other bosses' melees. But a problem I don't really see people complaining about is the reserve ammo. The first boss has 4 reserve ammo while the second one has the regular 20 reserve ammo. Now I don't really see a good reason for this, unless it's like a max reserve ammo to health trade-off thing. And I don't really know about this. The problem for the first boss is that you are basically forced to use your rocket launcher for mobility. And to those who just say, just switch your loader to take full ammo, you're smart. However, new players are completely void to this, and players with limited knowledge are about 1/2 of the player base. And now what? A breakable wall with weird hitboxes and now a foam sword? No thanks. The second boss being better than the first wall says something, don't you think? Speaking of his Hollywood wall, his trowel isn't without flaws either. His trowel allows him to place walls, as you may know. However, the problem I see with this is that it takes 12 seconds to build a new wall, and your other wall just lasts 24 seconds. While this seems good on paper, it really isn't. The wall is breakable, so you don't really have a good defensive tool if the wall is breakable. Combined with the long recharge time and the need to basically use your original for mobility, honestly the second boss is probably a whole different story. In short, the trowel isn't very helpful in the long run. If you need a defensive tool to aid your high health handicap boss, I think there's a problem. Another thing I want to talk about is his rage. His rage is a pretty basic stun and refills the ammo for the original. Since I have already addressed the reserve ammo problem with the first boss, I feel like sometimes you would just be using the rage just to get that reserve ammo back. The stun is just god-awful. It doesn't even last that long, with the max duration being 3 seconds. So even though you have the 20 reserve ammo buff, the players can still defend themselves, so overall, his rage doesn't even salvage him either. For my first balance change, I want to give the ability for Bloxxer Noobs to super jump. However, I would give the first boss more reserve ammo, and both bosses can rocket jump at the cost of no health. Another thing I want to add to the original is to give the ability to fall fast when holding control and looking down, and also maybe a push first bonus just to be nice. I would at least increase the sword damage to mini crit damage. The rage buff I feel like would just give them crits, just crits. And of course refill their clip if they are completely out. Crits for maybe 6 seconds though, so they can't take over an entire clip. Maybe also reduce the amount of rage you can get from damage so you can get infinite crits. As for his trowel, have it so you can have a way more balanced cooldown that isn't 24 seconds, similar to Arsenal. With that out of the way, thank you for watching. I hope you can somewhat agree with my balancing. If you have any balancing suggestions, comment in the, well, you know where it is. Anyways, see ya!